The Black America Resource Directory provides a wealth of information and resources to help the Black community connect and thrive. Our directory is packed with listings for Black-owned businesses, nonprofits, and community organizations, as well as helpful tips and articles on a variety of topics. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and click the bell to be notified when we do a new video. So this is Connie King from the Black America Resource Directory, and we once again want to say thank you for everyone who waited patiently. This is our first series of How Art Heals. And with no further ado, I'd like to introduce you to Tasha Nicole King. And Natasha will share her journey and her story as to how she has become the most inspiring artist and how that helped her heal. Tasha lived and worked in Sacramento. I'd like to introduce her. She has a Bachelor of Arts degree in finance. And she said, for the sake of her health and her sanity, she took a leap of faith and she changed directions on her job. And she soon realized that she was having some challenges in terms of coping and dealing just with life in general, things that she would expound upon. And as a result, Tasha picked up a paintbrush and she has created some amazing art. Now, tonight, difficulties may not allow us to feature some of her absolutely wonderful art, but we will put in the chat her website so you can go and you can look on her website and see some of this amazing art. So Tasha, welcome to the Black America Resource Directory, How Art Heals. And as we had said earlier, we deal with hiccups and we deal with challenges and we make it work. And Tasha, I want to just say thank you. We had the opportunity to feature you back in our February's issue, and you shared your journey with our audience at that particular time. And we were so inspired because we were having the conversation about how we felt about when we purchased a piece of artwork. What did that make us feel? What did the colors do to us? And I had shared with Tasha one of her paintings that we had featured. And every time I got a little bit depressed or a little bit, tried to have to make some decisions and calm myself down, I found that picture. And immediately there was a spark. So the Black America Resource Directory, we want to look at alternative ways, especially for Black Americans who may be a little bit leery about going to a mental health therapist or seeking help because of these stigmas that we hear about people reporting. Oh, they'll think I'm crazy or whatever the case may be that will prevent them from maybe getting some help. So with that being said, Tasha, is there something to it when a person sees one of your paintings? Have they come back and shared, how they felt about it once they received it?
First of all, thank you, Connie, for having me here. I appreciate you and this opportunity to share my story, share my experience about what art has been for me. And I just want to say I'm very grateful to know you and have this conversation. Well, when people are called to my art, it's abstraction, and so I I like to hold space for the viewer to have their experience with the piece. And what rises to the surface within them reveals what they need, taking them on a journey inward. And that space allows for them and the art to have a connection, to have a conversation, an interaction, and engagement, whatever that may be. And I trust that people will see and feel what they are meant to when viewing my artwork. A lot of people who have come in contact with my work will say, it's amazing, it's beautiful, or something shifted within themselves, or makes them dig a little bit deeper, because sometimes when they're approached to the piece, they're like, they're looking at it at the surface level, but then if they stand there and interact long enough, they'll have a deeper connection with the work. And so my offering is for people to have an experience that changes something for the better internally, awaken something, stir their soul, and be captivated by the energy of love that created each piece.
Well, Henry Ford Health had an article, and it's pretty much on the lines of what you're saying. Is saying art is healing because it forces you to forge a connection between your body and your mind. Unlike exercise, which works your body, or meditation, which clears your mind, art making access both mind and body to promote healing. And I thought that that was really an eye opener, because we as non-artists in a sense where we probably can make a living out of it, or be professional in terms of that, if we don't have that kind of connection in terms of when we pick up a paintbrush or a canvas and we create this beautiful art, we look at it if from a point when it's a finished product and how that makes us feel. So I would imagine that the artist would also transcend some of those feelings onto the painting, and that is what actually creates the art. Is that pretty much how it works?
For me personally, my art practice is healing, and it's transformative. It's also a spiritual practice for me. So allowing myself to be used as a vessel for spirit to work through me. So my paintings are usually a result of examining those feelings and emotions that we sometimes bury or suppress or are difficult to process. And so emotion is energy in motion. We go through a range of emotions, from day to day. I mean, just even hour to hour. We can be really high positive emotions, and then these, low negative emotions. Sometimes those negative emotions want to try to drag us down. And sometimes, if left unexpressed, they get stuck. So for me, by releasing those feelings and releasing those emotions to the canvas, it's my intention to transmute that into something that is healing and loving and light. Excuse me. And when I approach art making the process without expectations and going in with the attitude, I'm going to play, I'm going to have fun, the mind can simmer down, and there's a flow, there's a fluidity. The art making process has really taught me to be still, to be open, to be messy.
Okay.
Allowing my soul to lead the way, and then use my mind to move the body the way it needs to. And it helps me to focus and not think so much.
You know what? And I've often heard also that art has healing properties. Healing, whether or not if it's healing of the spirit or healing of the soul, or just like that visual connection that uplifts you. So I was thinking along those lines, what are some of your thoughts in terms of the art being seen as healing properties?
That's a deep question, Connie. um, I think it depends on the artist and the intention behind, and the energy that's going into the work. Um, for me personally, I create, to express my soul to the fullest. Creating art is helping me process those emotions, and be able to use the healing and the transformation that's taking place within me to help others be able to feel good or evoke an emotion, like I was saying before, sometimes those emotions get stuck. And so maybe coming in contact with the work, there's this something, a spark happens or a little subtlety or something like that that maybe you didn't notice before. And just being able to be part of that person's journey, that shift for them, that healing for them, brings me so much joy. And being able for people to explore within themselves and to have something that's going to elevate them and be in a space that gives them that upliftment. So yeah, I do believe that there are healing properties in artwork, and again, I think it comes down to the artist and the artist's intention.
Well, if we may show some of your artwork, we do have some of your artwork that we would love to share with the audience. Um, Again, in one of the things what we would like to do is take a shout out to AFWAC, who has sponsored tonight's event. So we do want to say thank you very much. Um, African American Family Wellness Group here in the county of Riverside, because we are part of a unit in which we are trying to look at different ways and reduce or release some of that stigma that's in our community when African Americans go to find help. So, with no further ado, we're going to go ahead and feature so you can see some of the amazing work Tasha has done. And Tasha, feel free
Oh,
if you would like to expound upon and share with the audience what inspired you to create this piece of artwork.
so when I start creating, it's usually just there's all this energy within me, these emotions, these feelings. I just need to get it out to the, I need to just start creating. So I do not have an idea in mind when I go to the canvas, except maybe what colors I may use. So this particular series is called Protect Your Energy. And I went in it just painting it. And I just painted these, different paintings, and I felt like it was complete. And so it took some time afterwards to for the title to come to me and for what this work meant to me. I usually I don't always have a write up about all of my work, but this particular series I do. And so it explores the effects of positive and negative energy, and I say, if something doesn't feel right, it probably isn't. But sometimes we might ignore those little nudges that we get inside. So I believe it's important for us to examine what we feed our bodies, but what we feed our mind and what we feed our heart and our spirit on a regular basis. And this allows us space to understand what's impacting our energy levels, and this awareness shifts your perspective, it replenishes your energy and raises your vibration. And so this is my offering of, putting it out there, protect your energy with loving kindness and be mindful about what's coming in to your space.
And we would like to continue on with the journey, but I wanted to take a minute and point to Tasha's website, www.tashanicoleart.com, where you can look, you can select. If you want to purchase any of these beautiful paintings, you can go ahead and visit the website. And I'd like to continue on with the rest of your pieces.
And protect your energy number 4, 1 through 3, all of them are available. Um, Protect Your Energy #4 is now part of a exhibition at the Crocker Art Museum in Sacramento, California, called Black Artists on Art. And so if there's anyone that's watching or that are in the area and you have a chance to see this amazing, phenomenal exhibition, Protect Your Energy #4 is a part of that exhibition right now, currently. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, Tasha, with that one. Unfortunately, I think we lost our speaker, Dr. Julie Lusk, who is an actual art therapist. And when we, as we indicated, this is part of a 6-part series in which we would definitely continue on with Tasha Nicole King and some of the other amazing paintings that she's going to be having coming up. As I indicated earlier, as a result of technical difficulty, we do apologize. I know that we still have, I believe, Dr. Hazel Lambert on with us, Jimmy. And if we do, can we bring Dr. Hazel on to join in the conversation about how art can help us heal?
Hi, Connie. Hi, Natasha. I wasn't expecting really to be on the platform. Actually, I am the cultural community liaison for the African American Family Wellness Advisory Group, and it's a part of the cultural competency with Riverside Behavioral Health. And it's true, Tasha, that it's not a one size fit all. There's all different types of ways people can heal, and you found an outlet. That I think people definitely should be aware of, because oftentimes, especially like you said, in the African American community, there's a lot of stigma surrounding, mental health or getting some type of services. And we try to tell folks, again, not a one-stop fit all. You found an outlet that works for you, and we tell people, find something that works for you, but they have to know that there's different avenues out there. And I'm glad that you're bringing this to the forefront so that people know that, again, as we're saying, there are other avenues besides, maybe just having to, as we mostly in our minds, sitting on a couch, right? Laying on
Right.
a couch, with somebody with a pen and paper, rehashing, okay, tell me what's going on. So I appreciate the conversation and letting folks know that, again, this isn't a one size fit all.
Right. And my and through my journey, I mean, for me, I say I went through burnout and I went through depression, and it was um, that that experience led me to my calling to paint, because I believe it's a gift and it was laying dormant. But had I not explored in that way, I wouldn't, who knows? But it was going to a therapist who recommended that I paint to release stress and to express myself, that's what kind of got it, going. I was like, ooh, this is feeling good. I'm feeling lighter afterwards. I'm playing, and it's, the
And that's
colors and the water. Ooh, this feels really good.
and one of the questions I was going to ask, Tasha, had you even considered picking up a paintbrush prior to your therapist sharing or suggesting that information to you?
No, the only excuse me, I I've always been a creative person. I didn't go the creative route in terms of, career and things like that initially. But painting, no. I did like maybe one or two paint and sips where I was, following what, someone had already sketched, and I did that, and that was very, relaxing to do and fun to do, but I didn't see myself where I'm at today. But I'm grateful that I did pick up a paintbrush and continue to do it, and I use other mark making tools now. So it's not just a paintbrush. It might be a mason jar cap, might be a toothbrush. So.
Well, one of the things that we thought was, as I indicated, was such an important topic of discussion in the various groups that I said in or on with Hazel, the conversation kind of keeps coming up to the same concern or same interest of concern. And that is, how do we get our people as African Americans into situations in which traditional means may not be the best for that particular individual, but creative processes, because I know that there's also an art form through dance. There's an art form through drama. So there's various different art forms in which individuals, if they just acknowledge or they were aware of it, because before we interviewed you back in February, I had no idea that there was a whole profession of art therapists. And as I indicated earlier, Dr. Julie Lusk was going to come on and talk about it from a clinical standpoint. And because of our technical difficulty, we lost her. So we're hoping to have her back in AFWAC, Hazel, Mrs. Lambert, as we continue on with this 6-part series. We would hopefully, be coming to the group and seeing, seeking out their professional help in terms of maybe what would be the next topic of discussion that we want to bring to the forefront. And I know Jimmy is going to be in the background working diligently on our production. And I'm like, okay, anything that will go wrong will, because we've had multiple dry runs, okay, to make sure that everything was perfect. We got it right and everybody was comfortable. And of course, things that are beyond our control, but we didn't let it stop us. We pledged full speed ahead, and we are hoping that someone tonight forgive us first for being late and having some of the technical difficulties. But once you get beyond that, if you can kind of hear where we're trying to go with our 6-part series, and hopefully you would join us on our next one. And thank you very much. If there's any other questions, as I said again, thanks AFWAC for making this possible. And we're so happy that we're partnered with such an important organization in our community. And Tasha Nicole King, an amazing. I encourage you to visit her website and take a look at some of her amazing paintings. You would just be enthralled with it. And the Black America Resource Directory, visit us at www.blackamericaresourcedirectory.com. Our goal is to be the go-to directory for Black Americans to find resources, information that you just didn't know about. Take a minute, visit our website, even subscribe to our newsletter. We have a newsletter every month. You can subscribe on the website. And we thank all of you for taking the time and being with us this evening. The Black America Resource Directory provides a wealth of information and resources to help the Black community connect and thrive. Our directory is packed with listings for Black-owned businesses, nonprofits, and community organizations, as well as helpful tips and articles on a variety of topics. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and click the bell to be notified when we do a new video.